Hey guys, Dirty Mike D here, Fat Guy Gaming, and here we're going to go into Anti-Aircraft Defense 102. We're going to be talking about ship modifications and consumables. Maybe get into also the actual mechanics about how the AA dome slash coverage works in the game. So I'm going to do this at the beginning instead of at the end. If you enjoy this kind of content and want to learn more about ships, like, subscribe, share, comment. If you don't like this kind of stuff, just pass on by, but we're just going to get right into it here. Thank you. Okay, so first off, let's kind of talk about how the AA screen works for each ship. Right here, I'm showing the D7 Prevention. What you're seeing here to my right here, is it's got 3 different levels of anti-aircraft gun coverage. Okay, it's got a long-range 152s that go out to 7.2. They're here in the middle, little middle area. It's got some 57s down here, down there, that go to 4.8, and then the top row shows you the 40s millimeters that go out to 4.2. All right. This next screen, I'm going to show you how those sort of work and what they are. What you're seeing in this infographic is a pretty good illustration of long-range AA. Your longest range has usually your flak part of it, your mid-range AA, and your short-range AA. These are those ranges that you saw in the DE7 that those guns are going to start engaging. Everyone's a little different. Not all ships have 3 sets of AA guns. Some only have 2. Some only have 1. There's a few that don't have any. But that flak starts spawning out pretty far, but I don't believe it goes in towards the mid or short range. I believe it only stays out far with the explosions. But anyway, this is where, when these fighters come in, things start happening. The DE7 has arguably the best AA, if not the best AA right now in the game. When the epic mobs maxed out, you can get it out to almost 8, 8.5. What those different stages and ranges of anti-aircraft are going to do is cut down the amount of planes that get to you. He might still get a full drop, but it's going to cut down if he gets a second drop, third drop on other people, and also how many planes he has left to continue dropping, because these carriers have to regen. Every plane you destroy and shoot down, they have to regen, and if they're sending less salvos at you, that's less potential damage. So having a good anti-aircraft suite on a ship and knowing how to use it is going to be great, especially when you add in the consumables that we're going to be talking about and some of the commander skills that we're going to be talking about. We're not going to go into a lot with commanders because there's just so many AA anti-aircraft inspirations that it would take a whole video by itself to get into those. I will go into one of the main ones that almost not every commander, but most commanders have available, or you have available to you in one of the commanders in the commander trees. So let's go on and talk about modifications. So modifications are things that you can put on your ship to enhance certain areas of it. Beginning at tier 4 is when you first get your first modification. It's AA mod 2. Why they have it 2, not 1 or 0, I don't know. Just a naming thing that they pulled over from PC. So this is the DE7. Here's the first slot, AA mod 1. I looked all over. I didn't see any ships below tier 4 that could use this mod. Here it is. It gives you plus 20% firing range to your anti-aircraft. That pushes those concentric circles that I was talking about out and allows you to start engaging planes 20% further. There's a few other commander things and inspirations that can push that out a little further, but this is the first thing you can do to help give yourself a little bit of anti-aircraft, onto a ship. The second one you get around tier 4, and it goes in the fourth spot is AA mod guns mod 3. Gives you 10% cooldown, 25% on all your consumables, and a 25% AA damage per second. So those numbers that you saw in that very first scene where I was showing you the preventions, it's going to give 25% more damage per second to all those numbers. That's awesome. Also, at 7, 8, and Legendary tier, you can use Steel, which you gain through either playing Ranked or not usually Brawl, but there's different things. Finishing the campaign gives you some Steel for every level you go past the finish of the campaign. There's 2 different premium missions, 8 and Legendary, I believe, that also give you some Steel. The first one here, AA Gun Mod 3, is 500 Steel. It's pretty damn expensive, but for every 5 planes that you shoot down, you get an extra 5% damage per second added onto the mod. So up to 25% more because you can get 5 stacks of those. Then, if you decide to take it one step further and buy the Legendary mod for 2,000 more Steel, for every 10 planes you shoot down, you'll get a minus 3% reload time to all your gun armaments. That's secondaries, AA, main gun, until the end of the battle for a max of 15% if you get all 5 charges. Now, if you shoot down 50 planes, which does happen, especially in a D7 Provincian, you're going to have a good XP game, probably. Good coin game. So the investment towards this, plus the fact that, I mean, I've seen this ship with this mod, or with these mods, airdrops from like Dutch ships, 10 planes shot out of the sky. Sometimes they don't get a drop. This is a great way to enhance your ship's anti-aircraft capability. Now, for slot, it's pretty expensive, so just remember that when you go to do this. If you're looking to change out mods and stuff, it starts to get pretty expensive to do it. But if you're looking to make yourself a harder target and avoid aircraft carriers and hybrids and Dutch cruisers, this is your way to do it. So that's just a little thing on how the mods work. Now we're going to talk about consumables and what you can use those for. Next up, we're talking about consumables. These are things that you can actively use in-game at different times to dissuade or change a carrier's mind on whether they want to keep attacking you and mitigate the amount of incoming damage coming in. This is defensive AA fire. A lot of times, this consumable can be changed out, like right here on my Pensacola. If I press the A button on Xbox, I can change it out with a sonar if I would rather do a sonar, or I can, and I'm worried about surface ships, or I can use AA. I've been running, since there's more carriers in, I've been using this a lot more and just being more wary of torpedoes and stuff. But, so, generally, I haven't seen one that does more than 200% extra anti-aircraft damage per second. The consumable duration, 25 seconds, that looks pretty standard, but I have seen the reload times and the amount of consumables given be different across ships, so that's something you're going to have to look at on a ship-by-ship basis. But for the most part, you pop this thing and that anti-aircraft that you have, I believe it turns red. It starts, like, all the anti-aircraft fire looks like it's red. So if you're a carrier, if you see a bunch of red incoming, it's probably that they're using defensive AA. That's something to know. I just learned that recently, learning new things every day. So this is a great consumable if you can use it, and if you're looking for taking down carriers. Sometimes you use it and there's no carriers in a game. But with the introduction of hybrids coming in, the Dutch cruisers, we already have the American hybrids. This isn't a wasted mods or consumable slot to use. So I came to Pensacola because Pensacola also has the other one I'm going to talk about, which is Catapult fighters. When the game first came out, Catapult fighters used to spot. They used to spot. They didn't shoot down other fighters. Like, they were kind of useless for anything but spotting. Then for a while, they didn't even spot. They were really useless. The only thing you would use them for is if you use Arthas the Cold to get 20% more damage from your main guns when the Catapult fighter's up. Still something, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but still something that it's useful for if you like to run Arthas as an inspiration. But now, these Catapult fighters loiter around your ship. They're pretty good, and they've done a better job of actually going and attacking incoming squadrons. They usually shoot down 3 before they disengage and then re-engage. I don't know that I've seen them do more than that in one run, but they definitely help with your AA mods, your screen, any other people that are around you, and with the DFAA to mitigate the amount of damage and fighters coming in, and more importantly, I think, the amount of fighters returning to ship that he can re-sortie out to you and come and attack you with. So don't discount these as being useful now. There are inspirations with commanders and stuff that modify these things a little bit. It's just too much to go through all of it. You're going to have to look and see what commanders you have, because if you don't have the commander, there's really no use in worrying about it until you can get the commander. So, but this is one way. Now I'm just going to go show you real fast. Actually, I can probably do it right here. Let me go to Norman Scott, commander profile. A lot of commanders in the first row have no fly zone. No fly zone increases your average anti-aircraft damage. If you have a max, I have a max by different increments, 4, 8, 12, 15%. I have mine at 15 because I've had Norman Scott as a 16-4 leveled commander for a long time, and the range 5%. So it's pushing that danger zone for those fighters out, or those incoming bombers out, even further. So with this, mods, consumables, knowing how to orient your ship, you can do more than what you think to mitigate how much a carrier can do for you. Now, I will admit, all this talk I'm doing, there's some battleships that are either too slow, don't have AA rating. Like, sometimes you're just going to get focused. That's just how the game is, but you could still be proactive and at least feel like you're doing something sometimes. But anyway, a lot of commanders have that that skill, and you should definitely look out for it. Is not an AA build. This is my regular New Jersey. I don't have no fly zone on the commander. I don't have either slot with AA mod. And let's see how we do. She still doesn't have the worst anti-aircraft in the game. She's going to shoot down some of these, but as you can see, she does get through. Gets the drop down. And AI guy's not smart enough to get out of this. He's going to try for another drop, but most players probably wouldn't try for another drop like this. And the fact that he even gets this close with the drop is crazy. But we did shoot them all down, even with a non-AA build, because New Jersey has like a 70 or 80 to start with. American battleships have pretty good anti-aircraft capabilities to start with. But she almost got the second drop off. All right, so here all I'm showing you is how much a full AA suite with New Jersey, who's not the best AA, but it's set at 100, does on incoming. I'm not shooting, I'm not trying to kill, I'm just seeing how many planes I take out before he gets to me. I'm up to 5, 7. He got the drop down, but I got 7, 8, 9. I shot down, looks to me like I shot down his entire squadron of planes in one go. He got the drop, but now that's 9 planes that he can't send back out, and he can't go drop on anyone else. Something else I want to show you is if you press this, if you press the select button, I believe it is, it'll show you how far you are detected by air. Mine's 7. So the second he sees me at 7 kilometers, see, I see his planes before he sees me, which is good. I'm going to let this one come in without using my defensive AA or my fighters, just to kind of see what, so you can see what the regular AA is. I'm also going to hit my right bumper, make sure it's not off. I'm going to get evasive because I don't really want him to take out any of my anti-aircraft mounts or anything. I just want to show you how many planes I'm able to mess with. But as you can see, it's AI, so this isn't like I'm doing great. So 1 plane. I'm just going to keep tracking them. 2 planes, 3 planes, 4 planes. It's almost like he's trying to get out of my AA screen before he does the turn. As you can see, he got into that further band, and now we got some flak. I think the flak comes in all the way no matter what. So I shot down all the planes except for maybe one. I don't know how many he has. I think he has 10 in his first round. That came in because after he drops, a couple planes return to ship. Now this next time he comes in at me, I will pop my defensive AA, and you'll see how much faster these planes get eaten up. All right, so my AA goes out to 4-2. I know that because I press this screen and it shows me 4-2 at the bottom right there. I don't want to press this DFAA till he gets kind of within that because I don't want to waste the seconds. All right, there he is. I'm going to hit it, and let's see what it looks like. It's hard to see from the ground, but the tracers are red now, I believe. And as you can see, we're eating him up much faster. He's still going to get a drop, but with that 200% AA, there's no chance for a second drop with this build. All right. So that's not too bad, right? Now it's down for 2 minutes, and the next time he comes, I'm only going to throw up I'll have my catapult fighter patrolling, and hopefully it catches him, and you can see what happens when he engages. All right, I'm seeing his torpedo bombers from about 9 out. I know he's coming after me because he's got no one else to come after. So I'm going to put this thing up. So for a minute 10, he's going to circle my ship. And if these torpedo guys get close enough, they're going to engage. So what I'm going to do is turn out from them because this fighter's going to make a circuit, and he's going to go, looks to me like he's just coming straight back and he's going to go behind. And I want him to engage these fighters. Now look at him. He put up a damn fighter patrol on me. AA's putting up fighter patrols. So here he comes in. Let me see if I can get these fighters to get on target. Come on, baby. Looks like all right, they're tracking. You see them start heading for him. All right, let's see what they do. I'm going to turn in because we turn into torpedoes, especially from a ranger, because he drops them in groups of 2. And as you can see, my fighters are shooting them down. And I'm going to try to only take one of these. I oversteered a little bit, but either way, my fighters shot down 3. And then my regular AA is also shooting down some. Oh, my fighter shot down another. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. So my fighter only shot down 1. Now he shot down the second one, and then my regular anti-aircraft shot down the third. So it helps. It mitigates. It's not going to save your life unless he's only sending squadrons of 2 or 3 because it's lower in the game. But I think they do pretty good, and it's better than what the fighters were doing before. So that's what it looks like with just the plane in your AA. Okay, so this next thing that I'm going to show you is with my defensive AA going. I'll have my catapult fighter up, my regular AA going, the full AA suite on a Pensacola with my no-fly zone. So this is the best AA that a Pensacola can get, notwithstanding putting extra inspirations on my commander. That's going to be for you to decide if you want to do that. So as soon as he gets within, I'm going to launch my fighter because sometimes it takes him a second. He's within 4-2, defensive AA's up. And let's see what happens. These are bombers, so generally with bombers, I don't want them coming in on my nose. So, and I'm going to get evasive on them. I'm going to follow him around a little bit here. My fighters have engaged. I bet they don't even get a chance to shoot one down. Yeah, they didn't even get a chance to shoot him down. All right, guys, that's it for Defensive AA 102. If this video seems like people enjoy it, I will make another one on another subject. If I can go deeper into anti-aircraft stuff, I will. Maybe with commanders, we'll see. But thanks for watching, and keep on sinking those ships. Peace out.